You're about to discover how to structure your thinking and guarantee your ultimate success in any endeavour you choose. And if you're thinking this sounds like an exaggeration, I promise you it's not. The only caveat is it has to be something you really want. For example, if you're someone who wants to create more wealth, more life, more love and more excitement, bring it into your life. If there's a goal you want to achieve, a championship you want to win, if you want to feel great every day of your life, without taking a single solitary drug or drop of alcohol, then please watch every word of this video, as I'm about to share one of my most closely guarded secrets with you. Secrets I've used to generate over $40 million in my career, meet the love of my life, and so much more, that if I told you now, you simply wouldn't believe me. I'm hesitant to leave this video up for too long, so please watch it while you can, okay? Here's why. If you've been reading and studying personal development books and courses for years, and still not yet gained the edge you needed to get the results you want in life, if you're still not financially free, if you're still lonely, still yearning to manifest the perfect partner into your life, if you still have great dreams and ambitions that are yet to be fulfilled, then let this be your wake-up call. Doing more of the same thing will not get you better results. It will only keep you at the level you're at. Do you agree? To create real change, the answer you're looking for does not lie in reading another book or a course. The reality is, if you're typical, there are two main problems holding you back from life and the success and the happiness you desire. And I've identified these two things after working with hundreds and thousands of people, all kinds of people, from over 80 countries worldwide. Here are the two problems holding most people back. The first problem was that you are simply drowning in information today. You see, if you're typical, you've bought countless books on personal development, your shelf is stacked full of them, your hard drive is clogged to the brim. And the sad thing is this, if you're not living your dream life right now, then you're not applying what you're learning. So what's the point of learning it? Now, whilst you can talk about what you are learning, so much so that you could teach others, the real sad truth is you at best are using less than 5% of whatever you learn to change your life. This can't be true though, right? As you've learned so much. As my regular students will know, I often comment on knowledge without application actually being destructive, not constructive to people's development. But why is that? You see, we've all been conditioned to believe by our education system that the way to success is to read and study as much as possible. But if you've been out in the real world for any length of time, you already know that it doesn't really matter what you know. It doesn't matter how much you can memorize. The only thing that matters in the real world is what you can apply, what you can actually do. Everything else is just noise, pleasant noise, but just noise, until you can apply it, which is why I advise people to only apply just-in-time learning. So my major concern as your guide on your journey to actually achieving success for real in your life was, how do I break this pattern? How do I get you to stop going around in circles so you can shoot towards your goals at light speed? This was the question, and I knew if I could be the one who solved this problem, it was the key to helping you get everything you desired. But to be frank, I was stumped. I did not know the answer, and for me, that's quite a rare thing. Until one day, from out of nowhere, it hit me. Make it simple for people, like I do for myself when I want to learn anything. Whenever I want to learn anything, I just break it down into little bits and focus on them again and again until I've mastered it. Simple, really. And then, after I'd hit on this simple formula, I had it backed up in a massive way from the most unlikeliest of sources. Now, I'm a Brit, so I don't know that much about American history, but I do love history. In 2006, I first read the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, one of the United States founding fathers. I consumed the book at the time, not thinking that much about it, despite how highly it was endorsed to me. Then this year, a friend of mine who was studying Success Made Simple said to me, "You know, this is the formula Ben Franklin wrote about in his autobiography. You've made what he said practical." He said he loved Franklin's book and thought it was one of the best books he'd ever read. And so I checked it out again. And he was right, the book was amazing. And the formula I had used to create my course was in that book. It's the formula that Ben Franklin called his personal success formula. 200 years before the internet, Ben Franklin had figured this stuff out himself. It was and is the simplest implementation system ever devised for creating a successful life. But that's where the problem lies. As it was so simple, in fact, that for 200 years, despite millions of the books being read, hardly anyone's ever tried it, let alone made it work. Weird, right? The formula in a nutshell was this. Now, before I tell you this, please don't be fooled by the simplicity of what I'm about to show you. Yes, it really is simple, but it is also the most powerful secret to getting everything you want in life. Are you ready to hear it? Here it is. What Ben Franklin did was pick one subject and spend a week concentrating on that one thing until it's mastered, and then moved on to the next. It sounds so obvious, doesn't it? But you, with your massive intellect, can't do obvious stuff like that, as you're dragged off with your need to learn new stuff at the moment you finish consuming the thing you've just learned but can't apply. You have fallen into the habit of acquiring knowledge and moving on. Virtually everyone has. Now, when you were a child, you were in the habit of acquiring knowledge and then applying it and then moving on. You see, we have been trained the wrong way. We used to do it naturally, but success has been trained out of us. Instead, we have been trained to thirst for knowledge. So we get knowledge, but we don't get success. The way you did it as a child is called focusing. The way you do it as an adult is called confusing. The secret was simple. I needed to teach you the skill you have had trained out of you, the skill of focusing on one thing at a time. I know, it's too simple, it's too obvious, but it happens to be the solution you have been and you are looking for. That was it. That was the answer. No overwhelm, no masses of reading, no masses of exams, just total and utter focus on one thing at a time. As you make consistent progress towards your goals, making your success in any area certain. When I realised it was the key, I slapped myself on the forehead, as I knew this was the key. But the problem was going to be getting someone as smart as you to realise that the solution doesn't lie in knowledge, but in reacquiring the skill of applying knowledge. In other words, the problem is going against the way you've been trained. So I knew I had to break success down into bite-sized little bits. And that's how I solved the problem of you not being able to absorb the skills and information you need to succeed. And thanks to Ben Franklin, I can give you a wonderful example of this system being applied. Click the button below to take care of your place on Success Made Simple and get yourself a huge discount and all the amazing bonuses.